Do you guys remember when I made the video about shaving my head and I was like, if it grows out and looks really bad or awkward, I'll just wear hats all the time. Here we are. Hi everyone, welcome here. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you for coming back and watching another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about mornings. So I think mornings for a lot of people, myself included, can sometimes be a little bit stressful. You wake up and the thoughts of your day and like everything you need to get done kind of flood into your head. And a lot of us, I think, kind of start the day racing around a little bit, which kind of sets the pace for our day to just be kind of a little chaotic and a little stressful. So in today's video, I've put together a list of some healthy habits that you can incorporate into your morning to hopefully have a more mindful, peaceful, and less stressful day. All right, let's get started. The first healthy habit on the list is to actually start your morning the night before. And for me, this includes making sure all the dishes are washed and just doing a quick tidy of the house. It doesn't have to be like some big elaborate thing. It really is just making sure that I wake up to a house that feels clean and calm. If I wake up and there's like dirty dishes everywhere and there's like stuff everywhere, that immediately puts my mind in sort of this chaotic state. And that's gonna inform how I feel for the rest of the morning or sometimes even the rest of my day. So just taking a few moments before you go to bed each night to tidy your space or do whatever you feel like you need to do to wake up in a space that makes you feel calm and ready for the day. The next healthy habit on the list is to prioritize sunlight and fresh air. So nothing wakes my body up quite like the sun. In our bedroom, we sort of purposely have blinds that will give us some privacy but don't block all the light. Because at least for me, if I had like blackout curtains, my body would just think that it was night all day and I would sleep forever. I need the sunlight to wake me up, to signal to my body that a new day has begun, and it helps me have a healthier circadian rhythm. But even if you don't wake up with the sun, just letting light into your house or into your bedroom to sort of signal to your body that it's time to wake up, it's time to start to get going for the day. And same thing with fresh air. One of the first things that I do is take the dog for a walk in the morning, and that fresh air just really invigorates my body. But even if you don't go out and go for a walk or whatever it is, even just opening a window, and I'm a fan of this even when I lived in a cold climate, even in the winter time, just cracking a window a little bit, let some fresh air in and just let it wake you up. The next healthy habit on the list is to make your bed. And this is a pretty well-known productivity healthy habit, but for me, it's been pretty transformative. I've had this really bad habit ever since I think college, where if I don't make my bed, there is a very high likelihood that I will get back into it and probably go back to sleep. I think it started when I was like living in a very cold climate and I would take a shower and be really cold when I get out of the shower. And so then my bed's just so inviting if I don't make it. And it's so easy to just slip back in and like pull up the covers and like warm up for a while. So making my bed has a very practical application for me. It's much harder to get back into it if I make it. But also it's a signal to my body that like the sleeping time of the day is over and now is the time where we're gonna do stuff. So the next healthy habit on the list is to make time for breakfast. And I don't mean just time to like put the food in your mouth and chew it so that you don't feel hunger in your belly anymore. Actual time for a meal like you would for a lunch or a dinner. I feel like breakfast is the forgotten meal that we all feel like we can do it like as we're doing other things or as we're sitting in our car commuting to work. But I feel like taking the time to actually sit down and eat breakfast helps me at least, one, make healthier choices with my breakfast. It's much easier to like grab something super quick if I'm not giving breakfast the time and attention it deserves. That might not fuel my body in the way that it needs. Versus if I have time blocked out to actually sit down, make myself a healthy, nourishing breakfast and eat it, I'm gonna make better choices and I'm gonna fuel myself better for the rest of the day. The next healthy habit on the list is to take a moment, and it really just has to be a moment, to check in with your mood. And this really is just pausing for a few moments and saying, how do I feel today? And this can be helpful for a couple reasons. One, just taking time to be mindful of your own state of mind can help you make decisions for how you're going to move through your day and the things that you need in your day. So say for instance, you wake up, you take a moment, you pause and you say, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling grumpy and tired and like I don't want to go to work. Those are all perfectly valid. Like you don't have to wake up super sunshiny every single day. But if you take time to acknowledge that and then understand what you need to shift gears, if that's something that you want to do, it's going to set you up to build yourself not only a successful morning, but a successful day. Versus if you wake up and you're feeling grumpy and you don't take time to acknowledge that that is present or why that is present, you can move through your entire day as a big old grump and never have the chance to rectify that. And I know that bad moods can run a lot more deeply than what I'm describing. I'm not going to pretend like it's always that easy, but really what this practice is about and what this habit is about is the observation and the mindfulness of how you're feeling in any given day. All right, the next tip is to set goals for your day. So in my last video, I talked a lot about productivity and the helpfulness of having things like a to-do list and a block schedule. And this is really something different. And this doesn't even need to be written. It can just be something that you think of in your mind. But think of this as the 30,000 feet of the goal for your day. And this could be like maybe 1, 2, or 3 things. And it can be to accomplish an actual task that's on your to-do list. But for me, I like to set goals that are a little less tangible, a little less like checking the box. So some examples of this would be like, at the end of the day, I want to feel productive, or I want to show my partner love today, or I want to prioritize movement, right? So things that are a little bit more like feeling based rather than just another thing on your to-do list. And thinking of these goals first thing in the morning is going to help you not only shape the activities of the day, how you spend any free time you might have, but also how you approach each thing that you're doing. So the last healthy habit on the list, honestly, like kind of flies in the face of what everybody else says about how to have a successful morning. So here's my dirty little secret. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is check my email. Okay, so hear me out. First, there is a very practical reason for this. I am a freelancer and I have clients on the East Coast of the United States and I live on the West Coast, and that's a 3-hour time difference. So by the time my workday gets going at 9 a.m., the workday on the East Coast is half over. So in the case where something very urgent is going on, I might need to respond to that before the day on the East Coast is half over. But also, it can kind of fill me with anxiety to think that something might be going on and that I might need to respond to that I'm ignoring all morning. It helps me to just check the email, know that everything is okay, or know that there is something that needs attention as soon as I can give it attention. I like to know that. I like to have that information rather than it just like sitting out in the mysterious abyss because I don't want to touch my phone because that's what all the YouTubers told me not to do. I would rather have that information and know what's going on and be able to plan the rest of my morning around needing to respond to something or not than just letting it sit out in the universe mysteriously and having no idea what's going on. And that might be like my own personal thing that I need to work on. I know, but the point of this is really just to make your own rules, especially when it comes to screen time. Another example of this is like, there's a lot of very serious and scary stuff happening in the world right now. And for me to not feel like I am plugged into that until my morning's essentially over and I've started like my work day doesn't sit with me that well. I would rather wake up, give a quick skim of what's going on in the world, and that also gives me something to reflect on as I go through the rest of my morning routine. And I do say I put certain guardrails on what it is I'm doing on my phone. Like I don't just wake up and start scrolling Instagram. Like that doesn't feel very productive to me. So the guidelines that I give myself are to read 1 news briefing email, and the second is to read any urgent emails. And you can usually tell by the subject line of something if it's urgent. So this doesn't mean going through my entire inbox and like answering everything. It's really just giving it a quick skim and saying, anything urgent, anything need my attention? No or yes? Okay, let's deal with it and move on. All right, so that's it for my healthy habits to incorporate into your morning. And I know everybody's day is structured a little bit differently. Everybody has different responsibilities in the morning, a different amount of time they have to spend on these sorts of things. So I just encourage you to find what works for you and just be honest with yourself in terms of what sets you up to have the best day you possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it and leave a comment down below of some of your healthy morning habits. I would love to hear. And I put out new videos every Tuesday, so please make sure to subscribe down below and I will see you on the next one. Bye everyone. I can see clearly now, my glasses are on. I can see actual obstacles in my way. Do 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 do. What do I think? So So I keep losing my place. The next I feel like hats in the summer are gonna be problematic.